Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another awesome episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator hardware. We've talked about the PU Air Korea CDU V2 and how absolutely amazing it is, and today we're going to recap some of that, but we're also going to be talking about how it's gotten significantly more amazing and at a far better price than what it used to be. Stick around. If you are interested in any of my tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides as well as any future guides that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. Alright folks, so let's go ahead and talk about this. Once again, this is the PU Air Korea CDU version 2. Now here's what makes this thing absolutely fantastic. They are a fantastic solution for someone who's not looking to constantly having to swap the physical hardware, but only has to worry about popping off the panels. These are fantastic. Let me dim that down. That's very bright for me. It's right in my eyes. So if you're going, for example, from, your Boeing to an Airbus, voila, that's it. It's got a simple software that runs in the background, nothing too crazy. You do have to pop out the screen. You place it in because the Windows will pick it up as a second monitor. So you can either use a HDMI to USB adapter like I use, or you can use an HDMI port on your computer. It really depends on what's beneficial and easiest for you. Now, pulling this out, okay, you can see, very simple, very nice design, very clean. Comes with this nice stand. Most of them come with that, though, WingFlex, and actually WinWing does not. You have this, which is a nice power switch. You guys probably heard the chime from Windows. Oh, that's what the lag on the computer is all about. If the recording picked that up, simply flip the switch, back on. It's a very nice display. That happens to me because of the adapter I am using. It is not the hardware, you guys. It is my adapter. I am pretty sure it's dying. But the other ones are currently taken up by all the ones that I have plugged into my cockpit right now. If you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check out the video just from yesterday and you'd see the cockpit. I hate it when I do that. This is, again, that's my fault. Should have known better. So we'll reset that. But actually, that's not necessary for this video anyway. You know what? We'll just unplug that. That way you guys can get a better look. So again, guys, I cannot stress that is because of that adapter that's hanging right there. That's what was causing that. Do not think that that is the hardware. It is not. It has happened on multiple devices over the last couple days. It's one of those things like I'm refusing to let it go because it was 50 bucks. But it's old. I've had that one for a long time. But anyway, so here's why this has now become an even more fantastic piece of equipment. And it truly is. This thing is amazing. So first I'm going to show you guys the new development that they have for this. And then we're going to go into the pricing and why I told you that that has also become an amazing piece of this. Alright, so let's move this over, give you that nice, beautiful display. And here's what we have now. So, these are plastic. This is not. As you guys can see, that is very much so brushed aluminum. Looks significantly better, much cleaner. Let's go ahead and put it on the unit here. And again, so simple, so easy. And to change, as far as the software standpoint, once you load into another aircraft, as long as the software is running, you're just good. So you can very easily switch between Boeing and Airbus, and they have the 777, 737 build, 747, but this feels much nicer. The buttons have a much stronger tactile feel to them. Now you're still going to have these blanks. Again, that's just the nature of having one unit to control multiple types of aircraft. But I mean, if you're that picky about it, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm certainly not. So very, very nice. These are a far more premium faceplate. And here we have the, okay, make sure I grab the right pieces. Where are you? Is it? No, where's the other one? There it is. Like, which one's which? There we go. Okay. So we have here, we have a Boeing version, and then here you guys can see we have the Airbus version. You can see just by the reflection of that how clean and very, very nicely built these are. Now, let's get into the important part here that I'm sure everybody's wondering about is price. Because as I said, with the software, it runs through SimConnect. You simply pop out the screen, make sure the software is running, it will size it for you, and you are off into the races. That's it. It takes a couple of seconds. And then you only have to do that on the initial startup, right? And then when you swap aircraft, you'd have to obviously pop that particular screen up, but that's it. So now let's get into pricing, because this is where I'm really impressed with what they've done here. So in previous videos that I've done on this, one drawback that I did say was that they were expensive. These being the plastic panels were over $100 a piece. Okay, you got, I think it was like $500. You got the CDU V2 and one plate, and then each expansion plate, I want to say, was right around $100 before, but that has changed. So let's get to the website here, and I will show you guys what they've done here with the pricing, because the pricing is far more reasonable now and a much better situation. I think they've really nailed it here. Okay, let me get this, which should be that one. Yay, there we go. Okay, so check it out. Yep, I was right. So you can see $499.99 before. Now it's $279.99 with one free pad. So keep in mind, if we're talking about WinWing here, okay, let's use WinWing as an example. And you guys know I love WinWing. I have absolutely nothing against WinWing, right? I'm a big proponent of WinWing, but let's just talk about it because they're the cheapest competitor to this. Let me bring that down a bit. Let's bring these all up on screen so we can all be friends. I hate it when I do that. Hang on. Darn it. Aye, you're driving me crazy, computer. Thank you. There we go. All right, so we're going to bring this down. Let's just put it over here. There we go, so you guys can see everything. So, remember with WinWing, okay, I think it comes right around $150 for theirs. So, here you're talking $279. Okay, so a bit more pricey, right? It's going to be far more versatile to use this if you like any other aircraft. Because here's the thing, the second you go to 2 units, if you buy both a Boeing and an Airbus, and keep in mind not all Boeings are created equal. The 737 panel, for example, is different than the 777 and the 747 panel. So if we come here, you guys can see now, you can get the PU-CDU V2 with one panel. So that's going to be, you know, your Airbus or Boeing, whichever one you want to start with. And then the additional panels, they used to be $129, and they are now down to $69 per panel. If you want the premium panels, these aluminum ones here, these ones are $119 a piece. And that makes sense because of the cost of aluminum, right? That really does actually make sense to me. Okay, so that's going to put quite a bit of damper. And you guys need to also remember, this is a very small operation. This is a very small group of people that are running this. This is not a major manufacturer that's as large as, you know, some of the competitors out there. So keep that in mind too when it comes to producing these. And I do mention that intentionally. I want to make sure everyone understands that there is a major difference in the production capability of some of these smaller companies compared to some of the larger ones. You need to keep that in mind. And when you're talking about that difference, that's going to impact pricing. It absolutely does. So this is a far, like the Airbus, for example, just the Airbus panel covers the 318, the 319, the 320, 21 series, 30 series, 40 series, and the 50 series. Obviously, the 380 is a touchscreen, so you don't really have to worry about that. But then here's what we were talking about for the Boeings. You have the 747. Keep in mind, 757, 767. Bluebird Simulations has announced a pricing and have announced some release information, and they're going to be showcasing their 757 at the Flight Sim Expo 2025 in Rhode Island. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, again, you have the 777. My biggest thing for this, the biggest bonus for this, again, is if you are someone who likes to fly multiple aircraft. I can't stress that enough because it is a very fast process. I just got done doing a flight in my Boeing, and now I want to move over to my Airbus. It's a simple, these magnets are very powerful. I'm going to pull the magnet off. Oh, jeez, beat the hell out of it for a second. Set that in there, pop the screen out in the Airbus, hit the execute button on the software, and bam, that's it. Done deal. We're on our way to the races. They are very, very well built. I have been using this one for quite a long time now. This is definitely my go-to when I do a lot of my testing, simply because of that ease of swapping the panels out. It really makes it nice. This is the one I usually keep on my desk for most of my desk flights. Again, coming from the desk, obviously, you know, I don't like to have a whole lot of hardware on here, so I like to keep it very simple, and this allows me to very easily rotate between different aircraft. The screen is flawless. The response rate is right on point, especially since it's moving through direct HDMI. You're going to get a bit of faster response time. Not that the USB ones are slow. I want to stress that. I've never noticed a lag with any of them. Okay, I'm going to be fair there. Whether it be WinWing, PU Air Korea, or the Wing Flex, for me, they all do the same. Now, the nice thing about WinWing, I will say this is an advantage, and I hope the PU Air Korea team can figure out how to do this. Wing Flex and WinWing, they only use the USB-C, and it covers all your problems. So I do hope that PU Air Korea can figure that part out, because that would definitely increase its value. But for me, like I said, I've used this one all the time. This is the one I keep on my desk. That's why I have the stand at the ready, where the other ones I physically mount to the cockpit depending on what I'm doing. So again, you guys, this is the PU Air Korea CDU version 2 with the aluminum panels. Okay, so that's what we showcased today, but you guys can see we have both the plastic panels. I can tell you from a user standpoint, when you get your fingers on it, it feels nicer. The keys on the aluminum pad feel a bit different too, because there's less plastic resistance on the back. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if money is even remotely something that you're considering when doing this, and the plastic ones work just as great. Either way, you're going to get your bang for the buck, and I think it's going to take about 0.4 seconds for you to realize the value of this once you buy yours. If you look at my previous videos on these products, you'll see that multiple people have come back and said, yep, I loved it, turned around and bought another panel, a couple weeks later or whatever it may be. So they've gotten great responses. They're an absolutely wonderful product and a great team. Don't also forget, if you guys go back to my video last night or watch any of my flight videos, the switch panel that I have in the big cockpit behind me, with the big 3 screens, the switch panel that I have mounted to the roof on that is also PU Air Korea. Since we're here, I'm going to go ahead and showcase that too, just so you guys can see what it looks like. It'll probably ring some bells, and that is this guy here. And this thing is it really is nice. It is so convenient to have. So I want to stress that too, give you guys a little bonus review here. This thing has been a dream to have. It's a lot of fun being able to just reach up, flip a switch. In the next week or so, I'm going to have some STL 3D print files on my Patreon in the shop, which, by the way, you guys, if you're interested in any of my tutorial guides, you can now purchase them directly from Patreon. You do not have to subscribe. There, you go to my page, there's a button that says shop, and you can buy the guides individually if you don't feel like subscribing. But I'm also going to start putting 3D print files out. I created some stands that use these 2 screw holes here, and those stands can either be used as desk stands, or you can swap the sides and mount this vertically like I've done to a roof or something up top or whatever you want to do. But you can mount it overhead if you wanted to do that, since that was obviously what this was designed to do. It was overhead. It's a overhead panel. But anyway, folks, that again is the PU Air Korea CDU version 2 with the now aluminum premium panels. These are absolutely fantastic. This is a gorgeous unit. I can't stress it enough. I don't have it in action because I feel like once you've seen one CDU, you've seen them all. Take my word for it. I don't BS you guys. The screen works flawlessly. The buttons work flawlessly. Like, you've seen one, you've seen them all. It works just like it does in the real aircraft. What I want to stress to you guys one more time is the build quality, the weight, the ease of setup, and again, the big shiner for these products is the ability to simply swap panels and you're in a different aircraft. Okay? So, as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, found it useful, gives you something to think about for your next flight simulation purchase. As always, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.